Hi guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you are all doing well. Today I am coming at you with a book haul. So I haven't done a book haul in quite a few months. The last one I did was back in January, where I talked about all of the books that I had received or had bought for myself over the Christmas period. And at the end of December, I told myself that I wasn't going to buy any more books until my birthday. Well, today is my birthday. When this video goes up, it won't be my birthday, but right now, while I am filming this, it is my birthday. I am 26 years old now, which is crazy because it still feels like yesterday when I was turning 13 and being excited about being a teenager and being grown up. Being grown up is alright, but it's not as good as I thought it was going to be, and I'm not that excited to be on the wrong side of 25 now, but there we go. What can you do? We can't stay young forever and we've just got to make the most of it, but I digress. So yeah, it's my birthday and naturally, me being a book lover, I'm gonna get books for my birthday. People just buy me books now because when they ask me what I want, I'm just like, yeah, just get me a book. I don't really care what the book's about. I read a lot of different things. Just get me a book. I have quite a few books here that I want to talk about. I've got some books that was gifted to me and some books that I bought myself earlier. So without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it. So we're going to start with all of the books that my boyfriend got me. And he got me 5 books, which I'm quite surprised by actually, because he normally gets me like 2 or 3 books every year on birthdays and Christmases. And the reason why I'm surprised that he got me 5 is because he has been mentioning to me quite a lot recently that I have no room to put books anymore. And it's kind of true. Like, we live in a very small house and I don't really have the space to be keeping physical books anymore. But then he goes and buys me 5 books. So he's only got himself to blame. But he went onto my Amazon wishlist and just picked 5 books that he thought sounded cool. And they are all very good selections. And we're going to start with this one, Night Film by Marisha Pessl. And there's a story about this book because I totally forgot that this book was on my Amazon wishlist. I have been wanting to read this book for a very long time, for at least the past year, maybe 2 years. I wasn't aware that I had put it on my Amazon wish list. So last week, when I was in the charity shops, now I know I said I was on a book buying ban, and I was on a book buying ban, but last week, while I was in the charity shops, I found a copy of Night Film, which was totally surprising because the charity shops in my village never normally have books that I want. So naturally when I saw this, I picked it up because it was only £1. I was like, I'm getting Night Film for £1. And yes, it's not in the best condition. The pages are a bit yellow and I don't know what that stain is on there. But I was like, it's £1. So I bought it. And I didn't tell my boyfriend I'd bought it because I knew he was going to tell me off for buying a book and breaking my book buying ban. Although I say that I didn't because it was near my birthday. I make the rules. But anyway, yeah, so I didn't tell him that I'd bought this. And then when I opened this morning, I was like, oh no, I bought this last week in a charity shop. But obviously, this is a brand spanking new copy, so I will probably donate this to charity. I'll probably donate it to the shop that I got it from or donate it to a different shop. But it was only £1, so it's not like I've wasted a lot of money. But yes, Night Film. I'm very excited to have a copy of this book. This is a horror book, but it's like a murder mystery, and this woman's body is found in a Manhattan warehouse. Her death is deemed as a suicide, however, the detective in the story thinks otherwise, and that's all I really know about it. But I know that this book has a lot of really cool interactive elements in it, and it also has a lot of really cool stuff like mixed media, things like that, things that are supposed to be like case files and stuff like that. And I love it when books do that. It really enhances the reading experience. So I'm very excited to finally get to this at some point soon. Alright, so the next book that he gifted me was Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and this is quite an old book actually. I've seen this book around quite a long time, and it's quite a popular book. This is totally something that my boyfriend would pick because he loves stuff like this, and he loves things to do with Thor and stuff like that. So I'm not surprised that he bought this for me. But yeah, this is all about Norse mythology, the Norse gods. It features like Loki and Thor and Freya, and he's kind of like put a twist on it, and it's a bit of a retelling. I'm not 100% certain, but it just sounds absolutely magical. Next we have The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter, and I am so happy to finally own this book because I have heard so many incredible things about this book and about the whole series. It's the Burning series. It says The Burning there, so I assume that's the series name. But I have heard absolutely incredible things about this book, about Evan Winter. I've heard that his writing is amazing, his storytelling is amazing, his world building is amazing, his characters are amazing. Like, there is so much praise for this guy, and I'm really ashamed that I haven't got to it yet. I don't really know what this book is about all that much, but it says that it is Game of Thrones meets Gladiator, and that just pretty much sells it to me straight away. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit intimidated by this book just because of the world that it is set in and because it is a really popular book. So many people love it, and that always intimidates me. And I feel like it is a book that I am going to have to concentrate a little bit more on when reading it, but I am excited for it. I have been reading a bit more fantasy recently, and I'm really, really enjoying the genre again. So I am ready to go on a journey with dragons and just have an epic adventure with this book. Next we have The Minders by John Mars, and this is John Mars's most recent publication. And this book is all about these 5 people who get selected to be like counter-terrorists. They're there to kind of like stop cyber terrorism from happening, and they get the most classified information implanted in their head. So that information is taken completely offline, and it's like wired into their genetic code, and it's in their head, and they know every secret about everyone, about governments, things like that. And that concept just sounds really cool. And I've heard great things about this book. It's not been out for that long, but I'm expecting great things from this. I love John Mars. I've read 2 of his books now, and both of them have been absolutely amazing. I just think he's a really clever writer. The way he reveals things, the way he does plot twists and stuff like that is just absolutely spot on. So I'm dying to get to this one, and hopefully I can get to it very soon. I know that I'm going to probably be saying that about all of these books, that I want to get to them soon, which is, you know, the truth. That's my honest intention. I want to get to all of them soon, but realistically we know that that's not gonna happen. A girl can try though. The last book that my boyfriend got me is The Institute by Stephen King. So I just finished my 2nd Stephen King novel last week, Pet Sematary. I did a vlog on it. I will put the link up the top for you guys if you want to go and check it out. You don't have to, but it's a good vlog if I do say so myself. But yeah, The Institute by Stephen King. I don't really know what it's about, but it says it's about this boy called Luke Ellis, who is a super smart 12-year-old with an exceptional gift. He is the latest in a long line of kids abducted and taken to a secret government facility hidden deep in the forest in Maine. Here, kids with special talents, telekinesis and telepathy, like Luke's new friends Kalisha, Nick and Iris, are subjected to a series of experiments. There seems to be no hope of escape until Luke teams up with an even younger boy whose powers of telepathy are off the scale. Yeah, so now that I've read that description, it just sounds really cool. Sounds very different to the previous books that I have read by Stephen King, but I know he dabbles in a lot of stuff. So I'm really interested to see what his writing is like in this book. I've not heard a lot about this one actually. I don't know how old it is, but I know it's not as old as some of the other books that I have read by him. When was this published? Okay, so it's only a couple of years old. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. If you've read it, please let me know. So those are all the books that my boyfriend bought me. My boyfriend's brother and his wife bought me another Stephen King book, Under the Dome. This is my boyfriend's brother's favourite Stephen King book, and he was going to lend me his copy of Under the Dome, but now he's bought me my own copy, so I don't have to go asking him, yo, can you fish out Under the Dome for me please, I'm ready to read it now. This is a massive book, like look at it. I know that it's like, I think it's like 900 pages, just under 900 pages long. So it's one of the biggest books that I own now, and it's a little bit intimidating. I remember there was a series of this on TV ages ago, which I didn't watch, but it kind of intrigued me. But it is about this town that gets sealed off from the rest of the world by an invisible force field, and like planes crash into it and stuff like that, and they don't really know why they've been sealed off, but that sounds like a cool concept, and I'm interested to find out what goes on, because it's kind of reminiscent a little bit of like life now, because we're not sealed off by a giant dome, but sometimes it feels like we are sealed off by a giant dome. I'm not gonna lie, when I opened it up this morning, before I read the Stephen King bit, like as I was peeling the paper off the book and I saw the old man, I thought I'd been given like a book about gardening or something, until I read the title. I've not seen this edition around. I haven't seen this cover for this book around before, so yeah, it was a nice surprise. Okay, so now we are going to move on to some books that I bought myself. I went to Waterstones this morning. I did also look around in the charity shops, but they didn't have a lot of stuff that interested me. So I just went into Waterstones and I bought 4 books, which I am super happy with. And the first one is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, I am jumping on the Leigh Bardugo bandwagon and I'm riding it all of the way. I have read the Grishaverse trilogy, loved it, planning to read the Six of Crows duology and the King of Scars duology. King of Stars sounds cool though. I wonder if there is a book called King of Stars. There probably is, but yes, that duology as well. And yeah, I want to read Ninth House. I have wanted to read it for quite some time, but I have heard mixed things about this. I've heard that it's quite slow. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it's dark academia. And I don't read a lot of dark academia, and I want to. I want to read that genre because it sounds like something I would love, you know? Magic in a school, and there's crazy shit going on. Like, sounds amazing. But this follows Galaxy, Alex Stern, Galaxy Alex Stern, I like that, is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class, a dropout and the sole survivor of a horrific unsolved crime. Alex was hoping for a fresh start, but her free ride comes with a catch. She has been tasked with monitoring Yale's secret society's notorious haunts of the rich and powerful. Now there's a dead girl on campus, and Alex is the only person willing to look deeper because the societies are far more sinister and extraordinary than anyone ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. Ooh. I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but it sounds like the perfect autumn Halloween kind of read. And I love the cover. I love the shiny snake cover. They did have the hardback version as well, but paperbacks are just more practical. And yeah, like, there we go. Next we have The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, and this is just the most beautiful cover that I have ever seen on a book this year. It is just absolutely stunning. This girl is glowing. She looks absolutely amazing, and I love the sprayed edges. I finally have a green book because I don't have a lot of green books, but that's not the reason why I bought this. I mean, it's part of the reason why I bought this, but I've wanted this book for ages. People have been hyping the shit out of this book, and the concept just sounds absolutely amazing. It's set in this world where people are, like, they have their blood tested, and if they bleed red, they belong to a village, and if they bleed gold, then that's a sign that they're a demon. And we're following this girl who goes to get the test, and she ends up bleeding gold blood, which means she's a demon, and she gets forced into this army with a lot of other people like her, and that is all I really know about it, but it just sounds really, really cool. And like I said, people have been loving this book. I haven't heard a single bad thing about it. Yeah, it sounds intense, like, are we girls or are we demons? Are we going to die or are we going to survive? I've got to read it to find out. Next I got Cinderella is Dead by Callan Bayron, and this is another book that I have been wanting to read for quite some time, but this is a Cinderella retelling, and it follows Sophia, and she knows the story of Cinderella off by heart, because every girl has to recite it daily from when she's tiny until the night she's sent to the royal ball for choosing, and every girl knows that she has only one chance, for the lives of those not chosen by a man at the ball are forfeit. But Sophia doesn't want to be chosen. She doesn't want to go to the ball at all. Not when she's afraid the girl she loves might be chosen too. Pushed beyond breaking by a society that denies everything she is, Sophia sets out on a journey that will remake her world into one where she gets to choose. And I love the sound of it. It's a lovely little romance between two girls that I am so excited to read. That kind of stuff just makes my heart sing, you know. I love a nice romance, and yeah, it sounds a bit brutal. Like, what does it mean by the girls that are not chosen by a man are forfeit? Do they get killed or something? Like, I hope not, but that's what it sounds like. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I've said that a lot about all of these books, but I am, and I've heard amazing things about this one as well. And the last book that I purchased for myself is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. You have no idea how long I have been wanting to read this book, and I do have an ebook version of it as well, but I love this cover. I love the colour of it, so I just couldn't not pick it up. But this one is all about Rachel, and she is from New York, but she travels over to Singapore where her boyfriend Nicholas lives, and she goes to spend the summer with him in Singapore. But when she gets there, she finds out that he hasn't told her everything about his life, and he lives in a house that looks like a palace, and he is also the country's most illegible bachelor, and then she ends up getting whisked into this glamorous lifestyle, obstacles in the way that's like old money and new money, nosy relatives and scheming social climbers and stuff like that, and it just sounds delightfully dramatic. I haven't seen the film. I know the film's been out for a few years now, but I wanted to read the book. I've heard amazing things about this book. I've also heard amazing things about China Rich Girlfriend and rich people problems. So I'm really excited. There's that word again. I'm really looking forward to getting to this. And it sounds like a really perfect summer read as well. So I'll probably save this for the summer. But yeah. There we go, Crazy Rich Asians. We're nearly at the end, guys, but those are all the books that I received or bought for myself today. But a couple of weeks ago, I was sent some books through the mail by my cousin. He phoned me out of the blue one night and just says, "Hey Jess, do you want some books? I'll get you some books." And I was like, no, you don't have to. But secretly inside, I was like, yes, get me all of the books. And he sent me 3 books. So thank you very much to my cousin. I love you. You're amazing. You didn't have to do that, but you did. And I appreciate it. But the first book that he bought me was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and this is a book that has been on my radar for a while, and I have been eyeing it up a little bit more recently. But this one is all about this guy called Jason who wakes up strapped to a gurney, to a bed, and he realises that he's not in his own body, he's not in his own life, his wife isn't actually his wife, and the son that he had in his past life hasn't been born in this one. And he's kind of like, am I dreaming, or is this my life? Was my old life a lie? It's kind of like, you know, that kind of concept of like, are your dreams real, or is your real life a dream? That kind of thing, which just gives me a massive existential crisis because it makes me start thinking about things that I don't want to think about because it makes my brain ache. But it sounds really cool. I've heard great things about this. I know that Dark Matter and his other book, Recursion, are very popular books. I haven't really seen them on BookTube that much in quite a while, but they've been popping up on Bookstagram quite a lot. And people voted for me to read this in, I nearly said April, but May. People voted for me to read this in May, so that's what I'm gonna do. He also very kindly sent me The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and he actually sent me 2 copies of this. He messaged me and said, "I've sent you 4 books," and I was like, oh cool, okay. And then when I opened it, there was 2 copies of The Poppy War, and he was like, oh, I must have clicked it by accident. But I've sent that one back to him, and he's going to read that, because it does sound like something he would enjoy as well. But this is a fantasy inspired by Chinese culture, and it's kind of hard to summarise what this book is about, but all I know is that it's epic and people absolutely love this series. It's been out for quite some time. I do actually remember when this book came out, but for some reason when it first came out and I never really read about what it was actually about, I thought it was like some World War One or World War Two historical fiction. Obviously it's not, but I think I remember like one of the first copies that came out had like poppies on it. I think that's where I got the idea from, but obviously I was very wrong. And I have been wanting to read it for quite some time, but the only reason why I haven't picked it up yet is because I am just very intimidated. Like with The Rage of Dragons, things like that, epic fantasies, just really intimidate me, especially if the book is really well received. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. But from what I do know about this book, it is about a young girl who finds out that she has some incredible unearthly powers, and she is able to practice shamanism or something like that. And she's also part of a military school, and she's training, and yeah, that's all I really know about it. And I want to keep it quite vague. I want to go into it not knowing much, because I think this book is going to blow my mind. Alright, and the last book that I'm going to talk about, and the last book that my cousin very kindly sent me, is Girl A by Abigail Dean. This is a very new release. It only came out a couple of months ago, and this is a thriller. So most of the books here are like horrors or fantasies or sci-fis, but we've got a couple of thrillers, and this one is a thriller that I have been really looking forward to. But this book follows a young woman whose parents weren't very nice people. I think they were criminals. I think her mother's dead and her father's in prison now, or it might be the other way around. And they had what was called the House of Horrors. And Girl A, this woman, Lexi, who is Girl A, was the girl that escaped. And this book is her dealing with the past that is creeping up on her. And she meets her 6 other siblings who shared the same kind of life as her. This one has had quite mixed reviews actually since it's come out, but I'm going to go into it with an open mind, and I love the cover. It's just a really cool design, and yeah, this book just sounds really promising to me, so hopefully I enjoy it. Okay, so we've reached the end of the list of books that I wanted to show you, but I will quickly just show you as well another thing that my boyfriend got me today, which was a Kindle. I finally got a Kindle, and this is like one of their cheapest versions available, and it's quite a small one as well, but I don't need anything massive and fancy. I'm quite happy with this one. Obviously I've not opened it yet, I still need to set it up, but I've had the Kindle app on my phone for quite a while now, and I don't mind reading on my phone. It can be quite convenient, you know, if I'm like on the bus or something, I can just take my phone out and read. But with me like having a new rule of not using my phone after 9 o'clock every night, if I'm reading an ebook, then it's kind of difficult to like not pick my phone up. So I've got a Kindle, so now I can put my phone away and use my Kindle, and I won't be distracted by all the notifications coming up on my screen. So I'm very happy with this, and I'm looking forward to getting it all set up later. And then I just wanted to show you this as well, because this is something that I purchased for myself a couple of weeks ago now. It's not a book, it's a notebook, so it's technically a book. But this is my wellness journal. It has got my name on it. I've just given my name out to everyone. But this is a wellness journal. It's from Papier, and they have the same journal but with a variety of different colours. I've got the constellation one, and this is just a way for me to kind of figure out what my goals are for the next couple of weeks, things that I want to work on, and stuff like that, because I have been struggling with my mental health a little bit over the for the past couple of months, and I wanted something where I could keep track of triggers and trends, habits, and also just kind of a place for me to vent and write down my thoughts and stuff like that. So I got this, and I've been filling it out for the past 2 weeks, and it's been really helpful actually. So yeah, like I showed you, it starts off with things like this, your wellness map, and you can just write down all of your thoughts and feelings, things that you don't like about yourself, or things that you want to change, or things that you want to achieve, or things that you are happy with. You just write them all down, and then you can kind of like break it all down and figure out what 3 things you absolutely want to work on for the next couple of weeks, and how you're going to achieve those things. And then every day you'll have a spread like this where you can write down your intentions for the day, how like your sleep, how many hours you got, and things like that, what kind of activities you did, what meals you ate, how much water you drank, self-care activities. And then on the other page it's just a way to help you think more positively. So it asks you like what went well today, and what are you thankful for, and you can write down all your thoughts and feelings. And yeah, it's been quite helpful. There have been a few days where I haven't filled it out, because I usually fill it out around like 9 o'clock time every night, and some nights I have forgotten, but that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna worry about that too much. I do prioritize it, but if I don't get to it on a certain day for whatever reason, it's fine, it's all cool. But this has been quite helpful for me so far to think more positively and change my mindset, because I am someone who's like, if I don't get everything done that I say I'm gonna do, I do get quite mad at myself. But this is helping me realise that it doesn't matter whether I did one thing or 10 things. You know, I've done something, and that's all that matters. So I would really recommend this if you're looking for something to help with your mental health and positive thinking. And then lastly, today I bought myself some sticky notes. What are they? Note markers, that's what they're called. WH Smith's had like a 3 for 2 deal on, and I want to start annotating my books. So I got some sticky notes, and I thought I would just throw them in this video because they're kind of book related. But yeah, there we go. That's the end of this video, the end of this book haul. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know it was quite a long one again, but this is probably going to be the last book haul that I do for quite a while. I'm not planning to buy any more books for a few more months, because I do have a lot that I need to read, and I always say that, but it's true. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get to these books, but hopefully I can get to them all pretty soon. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I would love to hear your opinions. Feedback is always appreciated. And yeah, please leave a cheeky thumbs up if you liked this video. Please subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos from me in the future. And I am going to go and eat my body weight in cake and get really drunk, because it is another pandemic party, another lockdown birthday. I am so lucky. But I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye guys.